The World Wide Web is without a doubt a tremendously helpful tool. In actuality, the internet has greatly expanded and changed our worldview. We can easily get any information we need by pressing a button. However, by opening its doors to virtual strangers, the online world has also exposed impressionable children to risks.
The magnificent five-star hotel, perched above the pleasant San Diego Bay, offers stunning coastal views. The hotel has a table service restaurant, an outdoor solar-heated pool with a patio, and an indoor fitness center. On request, stays can be changed from half-board to all-inclusive. There are both included and optional excursions available. For further information, contact your travel agent.
Because it is thought to always be available, unlike oil, coal, and gas, and because it produces less or no pollution than those fossil fuels, renewable energy is becoming more and more popular. Scientists attribute the emission of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases that cause global climate shifts to the burning of fossil fuels.
Although a sizable number of nations have laws prohibiting the use of cell phones while driving, there are still many more that have yet to follow. There isn't enough information to draw firm conclusions, but it appears that studies, exams, and polls are regularly conducted to determine precisely how risky and possibly fatal this habit may be.
Reoffending statistics released by the UK Ministry of Justice show a decreased incidence of relapse into criminal behaviour when offenders receive a community sentence as opposed to a custodial one. There is undoubtedly a case to be made for the idea that incarceration tends to exacerbate rather than reduce the problem of crime.
Physical activity has been demonstrated to improve an individual's well-being when done on a regular basis. Regular physical exercise can help to lower the risk of chronic illnesses, including heart disease and stroke, as well as obesity, diabetes, and some cancers. To achieve health advantages, the national guidelines for adults encourage at least 20 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity every day.
The imperial institution has a long history, dating back to 200 years. Many of the people who have worked here, like Albert Einstein, are scientists themselves. He made the discoveries that may be producing and utilizing electricity more easier, allowing us to turn on lights, prepare supper, and play games on consoles, among other things.
Long cut off from Western Europe, Russia grew up without taking part in developments such as the Reformation, which many Russians that are proud of their distinct culture consider to be of doubtful value. As a result, Russia is the most odd member of the European family, although it is really European at all. The issue is still up for discussion, particularly among Russians.
All cells have several features that distinguish them as living beings. All creatures are made up of cells, which are the most basic unit of life. They have heritable genetic material in the form of DNA and can reproduce. On chromosomes, they transcribe DNA into RNA and further translate into proteins. They can also control transport across a cell membrane and are required for several cellular activities that need chemical energy.
Solar energy is a wonderful source of electricity for homes and businesses, and by using it, you are not only protecting the environment from pollution, but you are also conserving the rest of the world's natural resources. Solar energy capture produces no pollutants and has no negative impact on the environment. The high cost of solar energy is one of the reasons why many people are still unwilling to utilize it.
The Civic Company offers a wide range of career possibilities to its workers. It provides not only pleasant and acceptable working circumstances, but also a great deal of additional benefits. As a result, joining the company is always profitable and advantageous. It's also worth noting that Civic delivers excellent and helpful services to its employees as well as taking care of their well-being.
According to a recent calculation, the asteroid that smashed into the moon 2.8 billion years ago and created the crater had a diameter of at least 250 miles. The research clarifies perplexing geological characteristics on the moon's near side and has ramifications for comprehending the early solar system's history.
Despite its origins in a distant part of the western Himalayas, a new medicinal plant now thrives on the banks of English rivers. It was introduced to the United Kingdom in 1855 and soon fled the cultivated river banks as well as savanna forests. It has now spread to Germany, Australia, and Brazil. There are no pests that keep the plant in control in the Himalayas, thus it thrives and reproduces uncontrollably.
Surprisingly, despite their seemingly limitless variety, all tough discussions follow a similar pattern. This framework is tough to perceive while you're engrossed in the specifics and worry of a particular challenging talk. Understanding that framework, on the other hand, is critical to improve how you manage your most difficult interactions.
The automobiles are a beneficial factor for transportation, but it also has the potential to cause obesity, injuries, fatalities, and pollution. Burning fossil fuels may keep economies afloat in the short term, but it wreaks havoc on the environment in the long run. Similarly, information technology has side effects in educational contexts ranging from daycare to the classroom to the lecture hall and beyond.
Historians have interpreted the English Revolution in several ways, as a fight between the aristocratic kings, who were open to life, and the serious military, as a centuries-long power struggle between Parliament and the monarchy over Englishmen's rights, and as a class war, similar to the French Revolution, of which it was a forerunner.
Culture is divided into material and immaterial components for the sake of argument, and the speaker's objective is to show how they interact. Immaterial culture, habits, and beliefs may be influenced by material developments in tools and technology, and vice versa. Genetics is used as an example because it has affected the way we think about life and as a result of our beliefs, has influenced the rate of growth.
In the entertainment industry, the adaptation of great works of literature for television or cinema is a current trend. One argument is that it benefits everyone since it exposes people to some works they may not otherwise see. However, this is seldom done well by the promoters of arts and culture.
From myths to the social sciences, including economics, politics, life theory, human ecology, and much more, history brushes elbows and frequently overlaps with many other fields of study. Some histories are almost entirely tales, while others go into thorough, narrowly focused examinations of community records from a 16th century Cornish hamlet.
For the sake of a quick tip, put yourself in the interviewer's position. Think about the kind of person the interviewer is looking for. Ask yourself why they should choose to employ you instead of the other people who are applying. The interviewer will also want to find out about your personal qualities. These are some examples of the kind of person the interviewer might be looking for.
Training and gaining further skills overseas is becoming increasingly popular for a lot of people from many different parts of the world. Many of these people will choose to study in countries such as Australia, not only because of the level of training they offer, but also because they want to follow a course in English.
The main value of using computers in training centers is that you encourage adults attending courses to become more organized in their work. They learn to open and keep files and research information for themselves. Using the internet, for example, develops skills such as looking up and selecting information. It also encourages trainees to explore different media and become more creative.
A few years ago, the term webinar was developed to describe a seminar delivered over the internet. In this context, words like web seminar, web conference, and internet meeting may be employed. There is a lack of rigor in exact usage, as is often the case with jargon. Some argue that a real webinar is a presentation delivered to a large number of individuals, each of whom has the capacity to engage with the presenter in some way.
The reason for slow start of cell phones, it seems, was because the companies had trouble working out reliable ways of charging for the new service. But once procedures were in place, the texting rocketed. In the UK, in 2011, 20.2 billion text messages were sent. This had doubled by 2014. On Christmas Day alone in 2016, staggering 205 billion texts were exchanged.
Young travelers can participate in short-term work or internships as part of the Australian Working Holiday Visa to offset any travel expenditures they may incur during their visit. Participants are placed in paid entry-level employment across Australia as part of the program. Before you leave your country, Global Student Welfare assures you of paid employment, housing, a bank account, and work papers.
Here are a few work ergonomic tips while working on computers. Your wrists should be straight when using a keyboard. Keep your elbows vertical under your shoulder and right by your side. Position and use the mouse as close to you as possible. A mouse mat with a wrist pad may help to keep your wrist straight and avoid awkward bending.
The Australian flora and fauna supported the Aboriginal people well before the arrival of Europeans. The Aborigines were not farmers and were wholly dependent for life on the wild products around them. They learned to eat often after digging for a wide variety of plant roots. The conquering Europeans displaced the Aborigines, driving others from their traditional tribal lands, and eventually settling for flour and rice as staple foods.
Rapid police reaction, which is an essential element of police strategy, is viewed as having significant benefits by both police personnel and the general public. The capacity of police to perform life-saving first aid procedures swiftly, and the increased chance of catching those who may have engaged in a crime. It assists in the identification of witnesses to an emergency or crime, as well as the gathering of evidence.
All dinosaurs, whether large or small, quadrupedal or bipedal, fast or slow-moving, shared a common body plan. Identification of this plan makes it possible to differentiate dinosaurs from any other types of animal, even other giants. Most significantly, in dinosaurs, the pelvis and femur had evolved so that the hind limbs were held vertically beneath the body.
The workplace has been at the forefront of developing in-house schemes to establish whether people are suitable for particular jobs or careers. Psychological profiles and handwriting analysis as well as aptitude tests are now part of the armory of the corporate personnel officer. An interview and a resume no longer suffice. But, as in the education field, there are dangers here too.